What's up, everybody? Well, today I thought I'd go ahead and show you another vacuum in my collection. This time, it's another Royal Upright. What I have right here for you is a Royal Classic Edition Model 4000 that I actually just bought off OfferUp from a seller local in my area. I got this thing for less than 50 bucks. They were selling this and two other vacuums. They were also selling a Eureka the Boss 1934A and also a Dirt Devil Jaguar, also known as the Dirt Devil Featherlight, the direct air version, which I chose this out of the three because one, I wanted a classic edition. Well, actually, the model I was originally after was the Classic Edition 9700. That one had the Classic Edition crown hubcaps, which also I believe there was another model, the 9089, also had that. But this one unfortunately doesn't. And I wanted the 9700 also for the fact that it had a 7 amp motor like my Royal Everlast 8100. From a lot of collectors who collect these Royals, they say the 7 amp are more practical than what this thing originally had, what this motor has. It's a 10.5 amp motor, and originally I did want to add a 9 or a 10 amp Royal to the collection because those are probably the most powerful Royal on the lineup. But unfortunately, the 9 and the 10 amp models are extremely loud, which you will notice when I run this thing later. So yeah, 7 amps I think are much more practical. They're not as loud, yet they're about as powerful as the 9 and 10 amps. And the 9700, like I said, had the 7 amp. The 9089 had actually the 6 amp motor, but it had a different bag system than the 9700 and this here 4000 has. And which we'll go over that later in the video. So let's go ahead and give a walkthrough of the machine. This has a very nice maroon red color for these Classic Edition models. It even matches on the handle cover and the cord, even the bumper guards and the adjusto-right, which most people who don't own Royals probably know. This here is what's called an adjusto-right. Basically, this is to tell you that you're adjusted to the correct carpet pile. So basically, how you know you're adjusted is when this sucks in, and that'll let you know you're adjusted to your carpet pile. So anyway, let's go ahead and show you around the back. Right here is actually a Brushroll performance indicator, kind of like what the Kirby's use. It basically monitors the rotational speed of the Brushroll, and it'll illuminate green when the Brushroll is turning at its appropriate RPMs. It'll turn off when it gets jammed, or if it's stalling when your belt's burning out. So it's a nice thing to have on these Royals. It makes them kind of like a Kirby. However, these, believe it or not, are actually much more powerful than a Kirby. And right here, it does have all four of the same wheels. This is before Royal started using the cross-drill design wheels, which they are nice. And it also does have the carpet height adjustment right here. Basically, you step down to adjust your carpet pile. It is a little bit stiff, unfortunately. Sometimes it likes to get stuck, but you just simply press down to adjust your carpet pile. And which older ones you did have a turn dial for your carpet height. You see right here is a little repair sticker, Vacuum Cleaners Unlimited in Dallas, Texas. I'll be surprised if that place is still in business, because a lot of vacuum stores are closing down for whatever reason. Because a lot of people like to junk these perfectly good machines. Like, why couldn't they just fix them and when they could go out and buy some disposable piece of crap? So when I got this, it did need a replacement headlight, which I did manage to get this from a local auto parts store. As you can see right here, this adjuster right does come off when you need to service your belt, and which this did have a burnt out belt when I got it. I just lazily threw in one of my Kirby belts, and surprisingly, this thing works very good with a Kirby belt. I even have one of my old Royal 880, and it works pretty good. And let's go and turn this thing on its side and show you the brush roll. Right here is the original brush roll that came with it. Surprisingly, is still cleans pretty good. And this brush roll does have soft bristles, but back here it does have brush roll stiffeners. Basically how this works, and this is kind of like the Hoover Quadriflex brush roll, which come with soft bristles up front, stiffeners on the back. The idea is when the bristles are digging into the carpet, they will bend and flex normally if they don't come with stiffeners. So with these stiffeners, it prevents these soft bristles from bending and flexing. So you still groom your carpet nice, but you don't have to worry about decreasing agitation from the bristles bending, which is kind of interesting how it works. And anyway, let's go ahead and show you the model number kind of back here. It's a little hard to see. As you can see, it's got Royal Model 4000, Royal Appliance Company, Cleveland, Ohio. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 10.5 amp motors, which is probably the most powerful Royal motor, and not to mention the loudest. And it's for household type. I'm not too sure how to serial date these Royals, but I want to say this thing's from the mid to late 90s. Maybe even the early 90s, I'm not too sure. The design does scream 90s. But anyway, this is made in the USA. And if anyone knows these Royals, they're all metal construction. It's got metal everything in it. Metal motor casing, metal floor head, even a metal fan impeller inside back there. So let's go ahead and show you your bag. This outer bag was very filthy when I got it, but I was just able to unhook everything, take it out to my backyard, and wash the crap out of it. It does run the Top Fill Royal Type B bags. You can run a Hoover Type A bag in its place because they're practically the same bag. I'm running right here a generic HEPA cloth bag by a company called Vacuum America Clean, or VAC for short. And they do make these. They say will fit all Royal Type Bs and even Hoover Type As. These are very good quality bags. They're about as good, if not better, than even the genuine HEPA bags that these come with. Anyway, right over here is the cord. It is the original cord. I think it's probably about 30 feet. Right up top here is you got your power switch. And here's your cord release hook. So now let's go ahead and release that. Unfortunately, the cord is not in the best condition. There are some tear marks, which unfortunately I am going to have to try sourcing a replacement for. Which, unfortunately, you can only get these cord replacements in black. And if I end up getting just a simple black cord, it won't hurt. Unfortunately, it'll ruin the originality, but at least I want a working cord that doesn't have any tears in it. So, it is what it is. So, go ahead and plug this thing in. And now I'm about to go ahead and turn this thing on and run it for you guys. Oh, one thing before I turn it on. The handle release is very, very screwy. I'm thinking I might need to get a new handle spring for this thing because apparently for whatever reason, this weight of the outer bag makes the handle just fall down way too easily. And when you stand it upright, you gotta push down to lock. And you gotta pull up to unlock and let the handle down, which I kinda like on the newer Everlast ones where you have just a spring-loaded pedal release, like most upright vacuums normally have. But I think one of these days I'm probably gonna have to look into getting a new handle spring for it. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and turn this vacuum on and you can hear this thing scream at the top of its lungs. We're going to adjust the carpet pile. I'm going to zoom in on the adjustable light. Slide in to let you know you're adjusted. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but to you this vacuum may not seem that loud, but if you have used one of these in person, whether it be the 9 amp or the 10 amp, these things are so loud to the point it's almost unbearable to use these things. But the cleaning performance more than makes up for it. The agitation, the agitation on this is so aggressive to the point I worry sometimes this thing might be slowly damaging my carpet. I mean, it is so aggressive, I could even feel it a couple feet behind me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video of the Royal Classic Edition Model 4000. Be sure and stay tuned. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.